What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Quant today for Mr. Can of Cola. Can of Cola. We're talking about this one for you, man. You did not request it, but you did say that something about a waffle, and it's still at $106. How long till it goes down? Let's see. Let's see if that holds true. Because it is still at 106. It's holding up. It's nice to see. But let's just see what we got going on here. So very bullish weeks, right, compared to this whole move down. Definitely a change of pace, right? This, you can tell how this move is a little bit different than this move. I'm not talking about the break or breakout that it did or did not have, right? It's still a lower high overall, but just the bodies themselves, these are notably bigger, right? And you haven't really given any of it back. It's still early to tell. We still have 5 days, 21 hours left in this week. I would expect, to answer your question, Mr. Can of Cola, I would expect that we see it pull back probably sometime this week, if not next week. You are at an area where you found support before, a little bit of support in this area before. Let's just see what we got going on here. I want to go on the daily. Might be easier. It might not be. Maybe the weekly. I don't know if that's the high to take. You're at your 236 there. From this high, you're at your 382. Either way, I mean, it would make sense to turn around, take a little break, right? I would think you go at least to $97. I would think that. I don't know if you go lower than this. So I forget what my last video said. I feel like in my last video talking about Quant, I was talking about it going lower. But I'm starting to kind of relinquish that idea, with a lot of cryptos. For any crypto video that I've made recently talking about them getting lower lows, except for Caspa, I do think that might not happen, right? The overall climate of the market is very bullish, and it wouldn't be too crazy to see this thing do, little bit of a retracement from the 382 down to the 236 and then bullish move up, something like that. And again, that would take you around $97. Let's see if we can make sense out of that $97 area using other dynamics. From this low to this high, I mean, the 618 here, your 0.5, that's right. It's just below the $97 area. It's okay if you were to go below $97. Relatively speaking, I kind of would expect that you do. This $92 area, that's right where your golden ratio is, the 618. We delete the fib now. You can see previous area of resistance, support, right? Kind of found support in this area too. Somewhere that's like closer to that $95 area. Support in this area, support in this area. Definitely a relative area to pay attention to, I would say. So that would make sense to me. I just wonder too, from top to bottom, deeper, yeah, of course. Yeah. Anyways, daily RSI very strong right now. You are holding technically, right? You bounced off your overbought zone. You don't have any follow through though. Generally, whenever you see this kind of move, just for anybody that's like learning TA or like you want to learn how to like operate with like the RSI or anything, this is a good moment to kind of pay attention, right? Generally, this kind of thing where you move up into the overbought zone, it doesn't have to be that high. It could be higher. It could be a little pip, whatever. But whenever you come back and you find support on the overbought zone like that, that's generally a good thing, like a really good thing. It means continuation is like very likely going to happen. But whenever you get movement like this, when you don't get that continuation rather immediately, I feel like that kind of negates it, right? It turns from this bullish look to kind of like you are strong, you're very resilient in giving it back, but you're probably going to give it back, probably. And again, where are you going to go? It's probably going to be a higher low. If you were to form a lower low than this low here, don't be too thrown off because you are still in a downtrend, okay? You still are having lower highs and lower lows. Your downtrend's not over yet, right? You don't have a whole lot of volume to suggest things otherwise. You don't need a lot of volume to find your low, and volume is increasing on a weekly basis, right? As you're moving up, it is good to see, but you haven't really broken out of anything like too significant, right? Someone was saying that we broke out of a downtrend like from 9 months ago or a year ago or whatever, but like we broke out of this one a while ago and we didn't really break it. It had a little bit of respect on it, I would say, but not too much. Is it from this high? Well, we broke out of that a while ago. This would actually look kind of good because you broke out of it, found support, and then you're moving up, something like that. But I don't know how to, you know what I mean? Like you've broken out of a few different areas. Like it's really kind of hard to say. I wouldn't count that. You only have 2 touch points. It doesn't seem like it's being respected at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'd go about drawing that. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that you've broken out of anything just yet. If anything, you're kind of still in this like overall range right here, right? You might be just like in the midst of this range, but let's see what we're gonna do here. From bottom to top. Oh man, I really, it's not common. It's really not common, but it does happen. Just because it's not common doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But I have a hard time with letting go of what's like expected versus what actually happens, right? It's like the expected move would be to go to your 618, especially with how close you got to this thing, man. Like I would very much expect that you go here, which is I think 76 is what that says, right? 76, yeah. $76, $77, something like that. That would make sense to me. You don't have to though. But with this look, I would say I'm a little bit more convinced still that you could go a little bit lower. And let's see, from bottom to top here, your 1272 is right there. I mean, it makes sense, man. It really does make sense if you'd go lower. I'm a little bit less casual with the idea that you go lower now. I'm a little more hesitant to say that you go that low. I would look for support somewhere in this $90 to $95 area first. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see prices below $80. You could even go lower than that. You could go all the way down to $70. But those price areas are still very much at large. And, you know, this 6.9, the bottom of your sweet spot right here, you found support in this area on a closing basis. So, you know, there's significant things going down there. And just, again, with the way that this fib, with the way that from this all-time low to the relative high here that you've got on a macro scale, I really would expect that you'd see the 618, but you don't have to. There are things like you know, Bitcoin Cash is a perfect example. We'll go to that real quick. I know this is a video about Quant, but just real quick, right? From this low to this high, you went just below your 0.5, and I would think that you'd go to your, I guess this isn't quite the same look though, is it? Because you didn't like close below it, where with Quant, you've got like closing, you know, I really would, man. I would expect that you go down here, but you don't have to. You really don't have to. Regardless, I think that you are probably going to start that move down probably this week, if not next week, but I would think this week it's going to happen. So I don't think you're going to go up too much higher. This has just been a long video saying that. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. I'll keep you guys up to date on this, especially as you guys keep the requests coming. I try to get to those pretty quickly. I know this wasn't a video based on a request today. This was just like kind of answering a question, I guess. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.